Greetings, everyone. My name is Michelle Singh, and I'm here to talk to you about educational continuity during online learning and 5 ways teachers can achieve this continuity. To connect with me, you can reach me at SingNBCT on social media, or you can scan the QR codes to connect on Twitter and LinkedIn. If you'd like to download a note catcher for this presentation, scan the QR code or go to the bit.ly link on the screen. What is educational continuity? We are most familiar with this term now because of school closures. It is the framework for teaching and learning during distance learning as a result of school closures. It's the processes, procedures, decisions, and activities that we implement for teaching and learning during this time. And what does it take to achieve educational continuity? Well, it's the communication that we give, the collaboration we provide, the connection, content delivery, all of that will look different for our students during online learning. So how do we make changes to those systems so that we can help soften the negative academic, social, and emotional effects of online learning on our students? In addition, how can we as educators support our parents and families with consistent communication during online learning? And as educators, we can achieve this educational continuity. We can do that if we implement activities that foster relationship building, engagement, social and emotional learning, higher order thinking skills, and even metacognition. These 5 considerations help educators achieve continuity with their students, parents, and families during online learning. We'll start with social continuity. Social continuity relates to the relationship and trust building that takes place between students and their peers, and even teachers and their own students. This includes small and whole group activities, as well as collaborative instructional methods during our synchronous and asynchronous learning experience. All of those things help to build social continuity and social relationships with our students. Relationships matter, and when educators and students practice physical distancing, it does not mean that we have to lose our social and school connections. It's critical and important for us to offer support, positive, safe, and supportive learning environment for our students. And we can do this with SEL experience, social emotional learning experience. We can also navigate this time with those activities that we build into our curriculum that helps with self-management skills, resilience, and even connections. So here are 5 suggestions of activities that you can use in your online setting or your hybrid setting to achieve social continuity with your students. Virtual icebreakers and celebrations, virtual scavenger hunts and flip hunts, virtual field trips and even guest speakers, virtual circle time and storytelling, and digital breakouts or escape rooms. Next, we'll take a look at familial continuity. Familial continuity happens when teachers provide increased opportunities to engage parents and families in the learning of their children. Now more than ever, parents and families are an important part of the educational setting and experiences of the children that we teach. So during this online learning time that we're experiencing, we have an expectation, and that is for students who are learning at home to have that guidance and support and even resources that they need from the teachers in their home setting. And the parents have to be equipped with our help to support their students. We can achieve familial continuity with our parents and families when we streamline the information that we provide and the resources that we provide to our parents. We can streamline our communication with one platform so parents have a consistent place to look for information from teachers. We can share information, expectations, announcements, etc. weekly and not daily to prevent parents from being inundated with messages, especially if they have more than one child in their household. We can also offer how-to resources to give guidance and training, especially with technology, and even help information to parents so that they can help their child with their learning activities. These can be in the form of one-pagers or videos. We can explain the why by defining like the big picture so parents know the scope of what their children will learn and will do in their activities. And this could be even a simplified version of the objectives or learning standards where we provide I can statements which help the parents understand the expectations that their children have with the assignments. Finally, we could be flexible in the way that we present and share information with the parents and families. This means we should have multimodal communication options when providing and communicating with parents. We can give them written, audio, and visual communication just to make sure they have a different way of receiving the information and reviewing it. Here are 5 examples of ways that we can provide and achieve familial continuity with our parents and families. First, we can create a check-in survey. This can be a private way for parents and families to have a way to share questions with us or ask questions to the educator. We can offer after-hour support by having a place where they can view a bank of resources that they can access at any time. We can even host virtual office hours and conferences, parent-teacher conferences, where they have a live meeting with us. We can invite the students as well to these virtual office hours and conferences. We can have a public question forum for parents and families where they can post and get feedback from not just the teacher, but for other parents who may have or experience similar concerns or issues or scenarios. And finally, we can share help resources to support students, parents, and families as they navigate the stressors of online learning. Our next topic is emotional continuity. Emotional continuity relates to how teachers address the social and emotional learning needs of their students in the online learning environment. This is where the teachers can integrate those SEL experiences in their learning tasks, in their lessons, their meetings, their discussions, etc. And students do require these SEL experiences daily to build their SEL skills. They need to feel valued and connected in their learning environment, especially online where they don't have that physical connection to their peers and their teachers. The goals of emotional continuity relates to having a safe digital space for students. Okay, so teachers and students need a safe digital space that allows for them to be able to connect, communicate, and collaborate. So that student-to-student connection is there, that teacher-to-student communication is there. Oh, there is even a way for students to have daily check-ins, and then there are even activities that tap on the social and emotional learning skills and competencies. Here are 5 activities that teachers can use to achieve emotional continuity, and they do tie into the CASEL competencies. CASEL is a framework that promotes SEL, social emotional learning, and teachers can include these competencies in what students do and complete for learning tasks and assignments. And here are 5 examples that tie into the CASEL competencies. The first is tied to self-awareness, where students can participate in activities that capture their mood using the mood meter, which is from the Yale Ruler program. This can be done at the beginning of live lessons or online class meetings, or just in a post where they respond to a question tied to their mood. The self-management competency can be tied to the morning messages or the morning meetings that teachers provide for students to help them manage their day, plan out their day, set goals for their day, etc. The social awareness example and connection comes from the learning tasks and assignments that connect to the feelings and emotions of characters or the learning topics or the different scenarios, and tapping into those feelings and emotions. The relationship skill building competency can be achieved if students have a place like a fun channel where they can share celebrations and accomplishments and successes and give each other praise and encouragement. And last but not least, with responsible decision making, that can be accomplished with daily check-in prompts where students can reflect upon and respond to what happens in a safe place. They can do this using apps like even Flipgrid or Microsoft Teams or Google Classroom, but a place for them to be able to respond and check in and reflect. Our next topic is cognitive continuity. Cognitive continuity relates to how teachers strategically help their students develop higher order thinking skills and metacognition. The goals of high order thinking skills and metacognition with that cognitive continuity ties into critical thinking skills, creative abilities, successful learning, and students being creators of content and not just consumers. Educators can tie their learning tasks with the verbs that are in the higher order thinking skills range. And here are 5 ways educators can achieve cognitive continuity with their students. It can be done with reflective questioning. Reflection, yes, it is challenging, but it is necessary, and it is something that we can teach our students to do. With consistency, we can really help our students use this reflective questioning, metacognitive strategy that allows them to connect their learning, extend their thinking, and even break through challenges. The next example relates to self-assessment. This is really an important metacognitive strategy as well because it can strengthen students' thinking. When students self-assess during their learning process, they improve their awareness and ability to acknowledge what works best for them when they are learning. They are self-directed and they can take control of the different learning situations. There's also digital portfolios, which are a fantastic way for students to document their learning growth. Students can also create authentic products in the learning and not just complete worksheets. They're creators of content, and the activities are authentic. They are tying into real world experiences versus just filling out a sheet of paper or just writing an essay. So these 5 examples are ways that we can achieve that cognitive continuity for students. And our last topic is academic continuity. Simply put, academic continuity is the content that we teach, how we deliver the content, and how we assess the content. One of the main things to keep in mind when it comes to academic continuity is putting compassion over content. These 5 examples of activities can ensure that we achieve academic continuity where we're putting compassion over content when dealing with our students. We have interactive direct instruction with our students during our online class meetings. We are making strategic use of chat. Students are sharing thoughtfully. We're incorporating SEL experiences in the questions that we ask and the activities we provide. We're giving opportunities for students to have individual time or silent work time with teacher support, whether we're putting them in breakout rooms individually or putting them in the waiting room to have that individual time. We're also giving them time for small group collaboration on tasks within breakout rooms again, and we have whole group discussions happening where the teachers are engaging the students in the chat and with those thoughtful discussions. Then we have ongoing instruction and support, and we can offer that as teachers with pre-recorded video lessons like with Prezi. These video lessons can really help us as teachers determine what the students know about the topic and the skill, and it'll be a guide for the students and for the teachers as well. We plan for next steps and as we provide this information to students. And they can be very interactive as well, and it's great that the students hear our voices and see the content and be able to go through it at their own pace. Then there's personalized learning, and we can personalize learning for students to address their unique and diverse needs, interests, skills, and even their home situations. We can also offer gamification through increased collaboration, competition elements, and enthusiasm with the lessons that we give them by using different tools, different technology tools, whether we're doing it in a synchronous session where we're playing a game, a Kahoot game, or asynchronous where the students are completing a quizzes activity on their own time, or offering them opportunities to use Minecraft and coding. And then, of course, we have the research based instructional strategies. And we can still use our research based instructional strategies like Think, Pair, Share, and the Jigsaw, and just finding a creative way to incorporate those research based instructional strategies within the online learning, doing digital gallery walks, and so on. And there are lots of tools, technology tools that are out there that can help us achieve all 5 continuities that we've discussed, from OneNote to PowerPoint, Forms, Sway, Word, Flipgrid, Microsoft Teams, Google Classroom, the Kami app, Jamboard, Nearpod, Buncee, Wakelet, Prezi, much more. But these are all tools that can support teachers and students during online learning and help them achieve continuity. To learn more about educational continuity during uncertainty, check out this handbook I wrote for teachers on Amazon Kindle. You can scan the QR code and it'll take you right to it. Thank you for joining me today.